If you are having a heartache because Stranger Things' 5th and final season is just around the corner, you're not alone. Because it's not just us, the die-hard enthusiasts, who feel that kind of pain, because even the cast members are preparing to bid their emotional farewell to our beloved show. And one of them is David Harbour, who played the character of Jim Hooper. After 9 years, how does it feel to finally end the series? Well, let's grab your Eggo waffle and start diving into Stranger Things 5. Star David Harbour is ready for the hit Netflix series to end. David Harbour wants to end the Stranger Things to be a superhero/villain at MCU. Among those ready to say goodbye is David Harbour, who has brilliantly portrayed police officer Jim Hooper since the very first season. In a recent interview, Harbour shared the emotional roller coaster he's been on, juggling the demanding production of Stranger Things Season 5 and his exciting new role in the upcoming Marvel villain movie, Thunderbolts, and is set to hit theaters on July 26, 2024. Harbour opened up saying, "It's nothing like I've ever done before. You know, Stranger Things had to go," he continued. "We have to get going because the kids are growing up. We got to shoot this thing. Then Thunderbolts came around and I was terrified. I was like, oh God, if these things don't work out and I can't do one?" The talented actor admits that despite the incredible journey he had with Netflix's Stranger Things, it's now time to move on from the Upside Down. In a candid conversation with Discussing Film, Harbour reminisced about his initial reluctance to let go of the show, but has since come to terms with the reality of Stranger Things concluding after its 5th season. While promoting his new movie, We Have a Ghost, he acknowledged his love for the show, but recognized the need to explore new horizons. He stated, "What's funny is when I started the show, I never ever wanted it to end. That's why I love the show. I think it's a great show even if I wasn't in it." Now, with nearly 9 years since filming the first season, David Harbour is mentally prepared to move on after the final curtain falls on Stranger Things. "Now, we're almost 9 years from filming the first season, and I think it is time for it to end. But it is, of course, very bittersweet." Harbour further expressed his sentiments, emphasizing that it's time for everyone involved in the show to embark on new adventures. "You know, there's a sadness there, but also, we've all grown up. It is time for us to leave that nest and try other things and different projects," he continued. "And to let the Duffer Brothers try different things as well. I mean, those guys are so talented. I want to see what they come up with next. So it is bittersweet, but it's definitely time." But hey, someone is saying something, and you won't believe this. Stranger Things is ridiculous. Finn thinks that if the show goes on longer than 5 seasons, it would be ridiculous. And in his recent interview, Finn spills the beans by saying, "I mean, after watching Season 4, I was like, holy guacamole, let's go back and shoot Season 5 right now." We've all been there, itching for the next season of our favorite show to drop. But hey, Finn is not just super excited to finish the series, he's also excited to know what happens next. Well, who doesn't? He is so attached and excited to the show, but Finn knows that all good things must come to an end. He's ready to take the journey to the next chapter of his life, and Finn's willing to help wrap up the series in a satisfying way for the fans. "I don't want to be done with it, but I want to know what comes next," he said. "We feel you, Finn. We feel you." Well, if that's not enough, here's our beloved 11 saying goodbye to... What? Millie Bobby Brown said peace out to Stranger Things? The Queen of the Upside Down, Millie Bobby Brown, aka 11, has declared that it's time to say peace out to Hawkins. In a recent interview, MBB's talked about the hit Netflix show's 5th and final season, revealing that she's so ready to move on to bigger and better things. Millie's not completely ditching the show. She'll always hold a special place in her heart for Hawkins and the gang. "I mean, who wouldn't love battling interdimensional monsters?" she quipped. "But now it's time to create my own stories and focus on the bigger picture." Almost all of the cast are ready to say goodbye to the series, folks, so what's next? Well, let's talk about it. How will Stranger Things end? The Duffer duo dropped a bombshell in a heartfelt letter to fans back in February 2022, spilling the beans that Season 5 would mark the finale of Stranger Things. They revealed that they initially envisioned the series spanning 4 or 5 seasons, but as they delve deeper into the story, they have realized that it couldn't be wrapped up in just 4 seasons. Ross Duffer dished the deets to IGN in a digital cover story saying, "Once we started working on Season 4, it was clear that we needed to start revealing some big secrets. And the moment we did that, we knew the end was inevitably approaching." Hopper, played by the talented David Harbour, had a roller coaster ride on the show, particularly after his supposed demise in Season 3. But, surprise, he came back to Russia in Season 4, an epic 2-part adventure released last summer. Harbour opened up about Hopper's journey and the show's conclusion in IGN's digital cover, revealing that he and the Duffers had discussed the character's arc from the get-go. They've been super responsible with the storytelling, and I'm stoked to bring the entire story to a close. So when you get back and watch it all, you can appreciate the full arc and its themes," he gushed. "Trust me, it's a massive canvas, but once you see the end, you'll realize it's been handled incredibly well. And hey, you're wrong if you think that only you and the rest of the cast are anxious about the show's ending, because Netflix executives too are crying right now. Why are they crying? Well, why not? It's official that the most beloved show Stranger Things is coming to a close with its 5th and final season, and the Duffer Brothers have shared that they always had an endgame in mind. Look, our approach is simple. We focus on one season at a time, Ross Duffer spilled. We've got an outline for season 5, and Netflix was super stoked about it. But it's tough, you know? It's the end of an era. During an event in November, Matt Duffer revealed that only a few people knew how the show would wrap up. He added that even Netflix executives got emotional hearing the pitch for the final season. "I saw tears from executives I've never seen cry before. It's wild. It's not just the story, it's the realization that this amazing journey, which has been part of our lives for 7 years, is coming to an end. But we wrote the outline for season 5 during the pandemic, and honestly, I haven't looked at it since. It's just too overwhelming," Duffer continued. "We'll dive into it eventually." Interestingly, the duo mentioned that unused ideas from season 2 would make their way into the final season. "After the massive success of season 1, we knew we had to expand the world and keep it going," Ross Duffer told Netflix's Tadum. "So for season 2, we brainstormed a ton of ideas, filling up a whiteboard. But it was way too much, like 5 or 10 times more than we needed. Now, for season 5, we're tapping into those big season 2 ideas. A lot of our grand finale stuff comes from ideas we initially thought would be part of season 2. With Netflix renewing Stranger Things for season 5 ahead of season 4's premiere, fans are on edge, wondering how it'll all end. Series finales can be a tightrope act, as viewers have diverse expectations. Season 3 left us with the feeling that Hawkins and every character was in danger as the battle with the Upside Down approached. Harbour, along with the rest of the Stranger Things cast, skyrocketed to fame when the show debuted in 2016. Now, folks, as we prepare for the end of this series, there's a mix of excitement and bittersweet emotions. Season 4 of Stranger Things racked up an astounding 287 million hours of viewing during the week of May 23rd to the 30th. Not only did it claim the top spot for the week, but it also shattered the record for the biggest ever premiere weekend for an English-language series on the platform, a title previously held by Bridgerton Season 2, 193 million hours. And imagine what will happen to those numbers if the 5th and final season pops up on our screen.